In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Illustrator in just under 5 minutes. This is a great video for anyone who just wants to get started in Illustrator and learn about the basic principles. But before we get started, guys, hit that like button, subscribe, and of course, as always, comment below. Thanks so much. Let's go. This white square box is your canvas. You can move the canvas holding H, so you can move the canvas as you like, as if you were to grab a piece of paper and grab it and move it. You can zoom in by Control minus, Control plus, and there we have it. That's a little bit about the canvas. How do you make a workspace? You can go to a window. You can see that has a whole bunch of different options for workspace. Right now it's set to layout, but if we want to make an essentials workspace, click on essentials, and now you'll see that I have the essentials workspace set up right here. I want to go back to it, I can click on layout or go to typography. So it has these different presets of workspace layouts that's easy for me to work through, to save my own preset, and which is easier for me. So let's talk a little bit about making your own workspace. Say if you like typography and this is the workspace default that I gave you, but you don't like the way it's sitting, you can take the tabs and move it out the way. You can arrange it in the way you like, and what you're doing essentially is making your own preset look and feel for this, and we'll just make this a little larger. There we go. So now say if I like this workspace, I just go to window, go back to workspace, go to new workspace, call this my own workspace, call it ILL 101, Illustrator 101, hit OK. Once you hit OK, this will be your new preset saved for you next time you open up Illustrator, saving you so much time. And this is something that a lot of artists do when they have their own workspace that works for them. But for now, let's go ahead and go back to window, go to workspace, go to layout. So we have layout here, pretty straightforward. We talked about interface, we talked about how to zoom in, we talked about workspace. Let's go ahead and talk about layers. So right here we have a layer. We can make more layers by clicking on this button right here, and you can make multiple layers. You can delete layers by holding one, shift the other ones, and then go back to your trash can. Yeah, just deleted your layers. To name a layer, you want to double click this. It'll pop up this window and call it whatever you like. Let's go with ILL 101, Illustrator 101. You can also change the color of this. Instead of blue, let's make this red. And now you'll see that my layer will be red. And this is dim images. I'm going to come back to this towards the end, but for now, go ahead and hit OK. There you go. Now you just made your own layer. You know how to make new layers, how to delete layers. And now let's move on to the shape tool. The shape tool is pretty cool. You can go ahead and hit M for a shape, or you can click over here. Notice that all these options in the toolbox have different arrows. If I hold on to one, it shows me all different shapes that it has, plus there's more if I click on this arrow, so it just goes on and on. Let's make one shape right now, the rectangle shape right here. You want to hold down shift so it constrains the shape itself. If you don't hold down shift, it will be wobbly and it won't constrain it to the shape that it's meant to be for. Before I make another shape, actually, I'm making a shape right now. Let's make this Eclipse Tool. I'm going to move this over here, and let's make one more shape. How you make a star, click on it and drag it. Now let's talk about color. So these have no color. If I want to give this a color, notice that I've selected first, and I have 3 ways of choosing colors. I can choose a color through here, fill or a stroke, up above here, or right over here. Let's stick with this one first. There we go. You can also change the shape of the color above here. Same thing, you can make this blue, and then you can change the stroke as well to orange. And there you go. You can't see the stroke right now because it's pretty thin, but if you want to increase the stroke size, what you can do is go up above here and change the stroke to make it 16. Now you can really see it. Same thing here. Let's change the color for this one over here. Let's make this green, and let's give it a stroke. Let's make this green, and let's change the stroke here. So we're trying different methods, and make this red, and let's make the stroke above here. This will be, let's make it to 18. So that's a little bit about shapes and how we can play with that. We can also go ahead and move the shape itself by just clicking on the star and moving it above the circle, and that's how we can move it. If you want to push the star behind the sphere, you can hold Control and hit the bracket on your keyboard. Notice that it is behind the circle. To move it in front of the circle, hold down Control and the bracket above. And notice, let's take a look in the layers panel, what's happening here. Control bracket forward, Control bracket backwards. It moves the dot right here. So there you go, you see that? Let's go ahead and move this out the way. We can also take these two and group them by holding Control G. So now I have these two groups. See this group right over here. In this group, I have grouped these two into one layer. Okay, wonderful. So to get to the pen tool, hit P or select it on the toolbox. So now notice that I can draw with my anchor points, 3 points right here. I've just made a pyramid, and because I have the color selected already, green and this pinkish color, so now I am able to draw this to get away from this line, because it'll keep on giving you an anchor point. Hit escape or hit V, so now you're away from this. You've just made your own shape here, and you can also invert this if you toggle back and forth. So now you have made this inverted to the other way around. So this is pretty basic. You can also go ahead and play with the anchor points here by just moving this whole thing, or you can select one of them, move it around. You can go back to the pen tool. You can draw any kind of shape you like. You know, that's pretty cool, pretty interesting. But this really doesn't give you a real idea of what Illustrator can do. So I want to show you taking this concept and applying it to an actual image. Let's go ahead and delete this. And what we're going to do now is we're going to paste an image. You can put an image by pasting it. You can put an image by importing it, or by simply transferring over by just dragging and dropping it. So I'm going to paste my image. This is a coffee mug. It's pretty big, so I'm going to zoom out, Control minus once again, and you want to hold E Shift to constrain the image. That way it sticks to its proportion. I'm going to put it right in the middle. I'm going to zoom in also with Z. This is another way of zooming in, by the way. So now I'm going to take this image and I'm going to show you why the pen tool is pretty cool. So to make this image lighter, we're going to go back to our layers. I want to trace over this image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this layer here, click on dim images. I'm going to make this 30%, so I want to trace over this. So Illustrator is all about tracing images. So you can trace images with the pen tool, and a lot of artists go ahead and take their drawings and they put it in this program and they sketch over it. So we're basically going to sketch over this, hopefully under 5 minutes. I'll try my best. So we'll go back to the pen tool and I'm going to draw an outline of this coffee mug to the best of my ability in this very short period of time here. And notice that I am drawing this coffee mug. I'm tracing it, and I'm going to fix the colors and all that stuff relatively quickly as soon as I get just the outline shape of it. Now this will be a slightly sloppy of a drawing, but it's just to show you the power of Illustrator. And what makes Illustrator really cool is the fact that the thing is a vector. This program is a vector-based program. So basically what that means is that you can zoom into this image so much and it will never get pixelated, and that's pretty cool. Rather, if you were to take an image, blow it up as a billboard, you will see that it gets pixelated eventually. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw that, and I'm gonna show you where the shape tool comes in place. So we're gonna go back to the shape tool, hit M, draw this, take this and drag it across, and hit V. I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of it just like that. You want to hit E to open up this sphere. Here we go. You can also use your arrows on your laptop, your keyboard, however you like. So that's pretty much it. Now this looks like nothing, I know, so let me go ahead and fix this. I'm going to go ahead and fill this in with a black color. Let's see here, let's make this brown coffee, and then we will take this outline here, we'll make this white because it'll be transparent with the background, and lastly we'll take this guy right here and we will make this into a green coffee mug. So that is it, guys. That's how you can trace an image into Illustrator, and if I hide this layer you'll see that there's the coffee mug right behind me. So that's how you trace in Illustrator. That is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've gotten this far, please subscribe down below, hit the like button, and click on that bell for more notifications to come. Stay tuned. Thanks.